Welcome back to Low Country Spotlight. I'm your host, Margie Bizarre. You know, one of these days we're going to have like an outtake segment because you all have no clue how much fun we have during our segments when we do the shift. So just be on the lookout for that. A couple of weeks ago, I introduced you all to Karen Lawson, who is the Executive Director of Community Ties. Well, we're so happy that Karen is back in the studio with us today because she has some more great information that she wants to share about how Community Ties is making a positive impact in our community. So Karen, welcome back to Low Country Spotlight. We're so glad that you're here with us again today. Now, when you were here last, it was during the time of the Great Flood.
Right.
And you talked about the fact that Community Ties had gotten a whole bunch of cleaning supplies and things of that nature that they delivered to help some people. I think it's in Georgetown County. How did that end up turning out?
That was an amazing blessing because the way it just came together. So many things donated and seeing people's loving hearts and even from out of state. And then when you deliver it, to see faces with the news stories, individual homes instead of just big bodies of water, and being told exactly how Community Ties was making a difference and what their needs were, and to see that what people volunteered were exactly what the people needed was amazing. It turned out really well.
And just to even elaborate on that, I mean, something as little as, you know, a bottle of bleach, you know, some Dawn dishwashing detergent, to bring to someone who's in such need. I'm sure that these people's hearts were touched by something that some people just take for granted.
Right, you've never seen people so excited over fresh mops and bleach and wall glide kits that they could get the mold out of their home and things we don't ever think about desperately wanting. It was wonderful.
I want to, on behalf of the community, thank you all for that good work. And I know that you've got some other good things coming up this weekend that we want you to go ahead and talk about.
We do. We are a self-supported ministry. We do not want to ask people for money. We do not want to take from our local churches or other 501c3s. So it's very important that we're self-funded. And so we feel like we have ministry on one side and a business on the other. So we are offering an opportunity to have your pictures made with Santa Claus for your children, and to have a morning with your children from 9 to 1 at Lawson's Christmas Tree Lot on 176 in Goose Creek.
And the date of that is?
That is this Saturday, the 4th. And you will have an opportunity to decorate Christmas cookie with your children and to have a snack, to make a keepsake ornament that is actually their little handprint, and to have a picture with Santa. And if you do all three of those things with your child, the cost is still just $12.
Oh, wow.
And all the profit, all the money goes to giving to the needy in our community. There are so many people from the flood who are having to sign up for Christmas relief and help with their children that have never been in this situation before. There are children in need of clothes. There's still people who are just getting back in their homes and they're in need of food. And the extra expense of holiday food and the traditions that you're used to, and you're trying to get your children back into the normalcy. And so there are a lot more people on the wish list this year.
And that's something that's important to remind the community of. You know, for the most part, I think from what I've seen, you know, a lot of people who needed assistance from the flood, you know, they're getting that. They're trying to get back to normalcy. But, you know, your organization was somewhat set back by having to address that need because it was so unexpected. So
it just changed our whole path.
Exactly. So certainly there are individual families that are also experiencing that setback because of something that was so unexpected.
Absolutely.
And when you said it changed your whole path, because when we talked before, we talked about there was such a need to feed the homeless population, specifically a lot of people that live in the downtown area underneath that bridge. And that was seemingly the thrust of your ministry. But now you've changed focus, obviously, just with the need for these other concerns.
Right, and so we're sort of trying to get back to our original call of the ministry. And we've been amazed at, through the process of ministering during the flood, the number of homeless people in Somerville and in Goose Creek. And you will begin to see tents that are popping up in the woods. We have tent communities in all of our neighborhoods.
Yeah.
And they need to know that they matter.
Yeah.
And that there are people who care.
And
that's what we do.
I will tell you this. This was probably the most startling thing one of the most startling things that's happened to me. I was on Staples, on 17A, whatever it is. And I'm deciding, okay, well, I need to jump on the interstate to go to wherever I'm going. So I come through the back of Staples. I don't go and turn all the way around. I come to the back and I see this little cat, like, just kind of on the side of the road in the area next to the woods. And I'm thinking, oh, I got a bag of chips in my car. I'm going to pour these chips out for the cat. So I pull over and I get out the car and I walk and I pour the bag of chips down and I happen to look up and there is a mattress. I mean, there's clothing. I mean, there are items that made me know someone is living here in the woods behind Staples on 17A in Somerville.
Absolutely.
I had no idea.
And it is, that population is increasing faster than most of us would ever believe.
Yeah.
And what is sad is so many times they're treated as criminals. Yeah. And they are people who are working a job, raising their families, in the most situations having to give their children to someone else's care, that are in need of knowing that their neighbors love them.
Yeah. And
that they care. And we need to realize that 3 out of 5 children in Berkeley County go to bed hungry every night. Wow. There is much, much, much we can do. And Saturday is an opportunity to make a memory with your child.
Right.
But the money you spend doing that is going to provide nourishment for someone else's child so that they can make a memory with them.
Now, you talked about kind of getting back on track for what the original thrust of your ministry was, which I know was feeding the homeless.
But it's more than that.
Okay.
We want to be, it's called community ties because we want to be tied to each other.
Right.
We want to invest in each other's life. I don't want to be someone who shows up with some hot food or a sweater and then you don't see me again.
Yeah.
I want to know when your birthday is. I want to know what your favorite color is. I want to know how I can pray for you. I want to invest in your life and say, you are worth my time.
How do you propose to do that? Because I know in some ways there's such a stigma attached, with homelessness or people being without, and there's still an element of pride. You see someone, like you said, that goes to work every day. How do you overcome that barrier?
Just individually building that relationship. There are some people who are so shocked to be in that situation, they have a need to discuss it. There are other people, you see that wall, that pride, and they need that strength because of what they're living through. Right. So they don't address it, I don't address it. And if they come in to Sunday supper and sit at our table and they don't wish to address where they come from, we never do. Wow. But we always open a door. Is there something you need? Is there something I can do for you? And you just continue to come and be genuine and be real. And when they can trust you, they will share. Wow. And the thing I've noticed the most, the people with the most needs, they're wanting to help someone else too because they know how that feels.
And on that note, we're going to end. Thank you so much. This was very powerful. Listen up, guys. We're going to have all the information about this activity. It's a fundraiser for Community Ties. It's going to be on our Facebook page and website. So make sure you check it out.